We are back at it again, ladies and gentlemen, for the SBS season. It's your Oda has dropped the SBS number 109 further volume, and we're gonna roll through a few of these things that are pretty important, because honestly, it was a pretty hefty SBS in terms of talking about various important characters and things that, once again, you would think Oda would not talk about in the SBS, and they'll be safe for the manga, the actual manga material. No. SBS, because apparently Oda can't find the time doing the manga chapters. So here we are. Here's details on, I would say, a lot of very important things here. Now, at this point in time, the full SBS, all the questions and answers aren't out yet, not translated fully, because, for example, when you go to Shots Arter, Library of Hara, Shots to Pew Piece on their Twitters, they will kind of focus on things that are more important to the overall story and for most readers. Things like, for example, the last question and comments that Oda made in the SBS won't be on their radar, but they're on my radar because they show you who Oda is. These minor questions. Let me read to you what he said to Sanada. If you know. If you know SBS content with the Chur Oda, Sanada is one hell of a dude, and I quote, "Reader Sanadachi, on Nami-san's chest, there seem to be two switches. Can you tell me what kind of switches those are?" Oda responds, as per usual, yes, I really like these things, so I will gladly tell you, Sanada, if you were just not here. The gazes of the women. Well then, we'll end it right here. See you next SBS. So Oda, he's a memer, but the man's a perv. I mean, through and through. Let's just let's just keep it a stack. If you go through SBSs and the things Oda discusses sometimes.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Sanadachi, I believe, is a One Piece YouTuber in Japan. I believe so. Oh, he's super on board. Super on board. So just a reminder of the guy that we're dealing with here, the man that we call Goda. A memer, a great author, but absolutely a pervert, make no mistake. Now here's some things that did catch my attention. Not the biggest things, not yet, but some things that I do think are pretty intriguing. So, Kuma. Oda confirms the Niku no Mi, the Paw fruit, can only transport you or others to the places the user has previously been to. Kuma has traveled a lot, which is why he has a lot of options now. So we saw that in the Kuma Bonnie flashback, the Kuma memory Bonnie flashback stuff, where Kuma's traveling to a lot of different places all across the world, which is why Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, the crew were spread apart to so many different locations. And a lot of them happen to match a lot of their archetypes for characters and what they need to become stronger over the time skip. But Kuma had to go to these spots in the first place. You have to go to the Elden Ring location and actually touch that grace, and then you can fast travel to that location. Same thing here. Also from Kuma's flashback was a girl named Alpha. And we have this quote right here about Alpha. Alpha is in fact the younger sister of Khalifa, both being the two daughters of Lasky, former CP9 member, who I believe that we saw in the O'Hara flashback. It is a bit of an unusual case though, as most CP members are orphaned. That way they don't have any emotional attachments that could hinder them. So this does make sense, because on paper, CP9 are supposed to be the best assassination group. CP0, they're the more secretive, covert guys, but also still like the top assassins. But the world globally is aware of CP9 and how deadly they are. But if you have family that's a part of Cypher Pole, then it does kind of feel like you could potentially be compromised as an agent if your family, who's also a part of CP, is exposed, in danger on a mission or something of that sort. Now I have more comments on Oda, on Shiki, and One Piece Strong World the movie, and I quote, Oda definitively confirms that Strong World and other One Piece movies are not canon, but obviously some elements of it, like Shiki, are. So kind of similar, let's say, what we see in Film Red, where Oda has like a whole Chronicles of Uta thing written about Uta and her character, and Uta is in the story itself, so she's a canon character, but not all the events that happen in the movie for Film Red are canon. And here we go. Well, even though I could try to find a way to make most movies canon, if I did, readers would be obliged to watch the movies to get the full story. So I don't like to consider them part of the canon. However, with Strong World, I was the one who came up with the story, and I ended up using Shiki, a character originally intended to be part of the main story, as a character for the movie. Ah,
that's right.
People know I am a big fan of the Golden Lion. I preach a good word of the Golden Lion. You 1v2 guard and Sengoku? What? You got badass float powers, and even in the movie we see him actually manipulate water? What? I mean, buddy is nuts. Make no mistake, in his prime, he was crazy. However, and I continue, if it wasn't for this being a movie, I would have never had Shiki eat the Fua no Mi, the float fruit. I had a rule in my mind to not include characters that could fly or float freely in the sky. It's a pirate manga after all. Interesting there. So a DBZ sort of character flying around all over the place is not really an option in his mind. Though, of course, there's always the option of someone like, let's say, Monkey D. Dragon having wind powers that would allow him to, let's say, fly around in theory, but we'll have to wait and see. So, I would have never wanted to use such a power. I let it slide since it was for a movie, but then I still incorporated him into the canon, and so the fruit is now canon. Whoa. It's a weird case of re-importing stuff back into canon. There you go. So, the Fua, the float fruit, what I think is one of the coolest powers in One Piece, is officially canon, because Shiki, my boy, is absolutely canon. And then from here, we can jump over to some teases about Gloriosa, one of the former empresses of Amazon Lily. And this is where things get heavy. Well, not just yet. Not the heavy stuff just yet. Oda teases the person who Gloriosa suffered from love sickness for is someone who is on the Rocks Pirates. And so she must have left the country, Amazon Lily, following after him. It appears to be the case here that it's Whitebeard. Whitebeard was the hunk. He was the mewing Giga Chad of the Rocks Pirate crew, and we see both Stussy and Gloriosa kind of talking to him. I mean, Stussy's on his back, unironically, and then her and Gloriosa, that takes me back, baby.
It's Leviosa.
Leviosa. Stop.
Gloriosa have some bickering. It's probably Whitebeard. The man was that subtly. And obviously, given that build, that mustache, the strong jaw, how his future gains are absolutely absurd. Oh yeah, you can't blame them. You absolutely cannot blame them. But here is where now we cut into some very important Amazon Lily material. And this pertains to the former empress of Amazon Lily before Boa Hancock and after Shaki. The empress that folks have been trying to keep an eye on for a while now, or just tells us right to our faces, here she is. So Oda states that, and I quote, "Since ancient times, for some reason they do not understand, empresses and warriors from Amazon Lily have died of love sickness. Those like Gloriosa or Shaki have avoided this by leaving the country." And based on the previous post, it would appear that in order to avoid dying from love sickness, you have to forego your duties as the empress of the country and chase the man that you love. So there's a thought process here that in the future, Boa Hancock, she will leave Amazon Lily and be with Luffy. Not like, let's say, what we saw in between Amazon Lily and Impel Down, and then her being at Marineford. No. I mean, she will stay with Luffy. Just how arguably Shaki stayed with Rayleigh. Just how potentially with Gloriosa, she followed Whitebeard, potentially. So let's go to the actual timeline here. Timeline of Empresses from Amazon Lily and Hancock's life by Achiro Oda. So the question is this. Odachi, hello. Elder Neon said the former empress of Amazon Lily also died of love sickness. But isn't that Shakuyaku? Why would Elder Neon lie? Oda's response: I believe you misread the line. She wasn't lying. By, quote, the empress before here, he means her. The empress before her suffered from it too. She meant the illness itself, not dying. And again here, truth is, since ancient times, for some reason they don't understand, empresses and warriors from this country have died of love sickness. Those like Elder Neon or Shakuyaku have avoided this by leaving the country. Now, all the empresses are named after flowers. Here we have all the empresses here. Former empress Gloriosa left her country, but someone did come back, obviously. Then we have former empress Shakuyaku left her country. Former empress before Boa Hancock, Toritoma, died of the love sick illness. She was the one. And then the current empress of Amazon Lily, Boa Hancock, unrequited love for the monkey Jesus, Luffy. hate. And then at the very bottom, we have this timeline here. Hancock and her 2 sisters are slaves. Fisher Tiger frees the slaves. Gloriosa rescues the 3 sisters after hearing of the commotion. They live on Shimoni hidden by Shakuyaku, so that's how they know Rayleigh and Shaki and so on. And then the last part of the timeline is the 3 sisters return to the Island of Women with Gloriosa. Yes, so this is interesting here, because now you get to find out the former Empress of Amazon Lily, Tori Toma. And Tori Toma, it's easy to find. I'm pretty sure also can find a few clips of that right now. People online, oh yeah, Luffy's mom, guaranteed. Because who was the one? Who is the man that gave her the love sickness? And people are right now thinking about one dude, Monkey D. Dragon. Because obviously the idea is, hey, Luffy's mom, this could be her. Luffy's mom herself was a former Empress of Amazon Lily, and then potentially Luffy's future partner, maybe one of his partners, because maybe we go with that Mushoku Tensei jobless reincarnation activity. More! That being said though, here's the thing. There's problems with Tori Toma being Luffy's mom. Number 1, Dragon would just leave his duties as the leader of the Rev and start fornicating? What? While Kuma is out here? Bruh.
Correct, sir.
There's absolutely a lot of hate for Monkey D. Dragon. Obviously, the main character is the result of that. Super duper important. But there would be some backlash for Dragon because of what happened to Kuma. And Guinea situation. That's the first thing. Number 2, the women of Amazon Lily are actually their own race of people, and technically, on paper, they only gave birth to women, other girls. So as far as we know, Luffy has all of the male appendages, right? He is a dude through and through. It's not confusing, like let's say Ivankov, or let's say Bone Clay at times, or let's say Yamato. It's not confusing. But according to the race-specific traits, they can only give birth to other women. Now, you can say, but what if Luffy, for some reason, is the exception to the rule?
Power of 1, the power of 2, the power of many.
He is the chosen one sort of figure. That's possible, but I have my doubts. I definitely do. So that in of itself, you can argue, is kind of like the seal of the deal, where this woman cannot be his mom because biologically it should be impossible. Should be. And then obviously, the third issue is it's revealed in an SBS. Huh? What?
Again!
We got Zoro's family lineage in an SBS, which was insane, but that's what Oda did. We got some of Kid's backstory in SBS, and then now potentially Luffy's mom. So maybe it's because folks are getting used to Oda dropping big reveals in SBSs because there's not enough time to do it in the manga. But then to me, I immediately thought of Oda's words to the voice actress of Luffy, Tanaka Mayumi, where years ago, according to her, Oda told her specifically that Luffy's mom doesn't matter. And I quote, I tweeted about it as a reminder, as a refresher, and I quote, I want to tell the story of this young boy's adventure, so mothers don't play a part of it. Take it as you would. I know some people are, oh my God, but take it as you would. There's a good chance that Luffy's mom, just like Frankie's mom, just like, let's say, Nami and Nojiko's father, or even Robin's father, sometimes the parents just don't matter. They just do not matter. Zoro's parents, the second main character story, were revealed in SBSs. As far as we know, Oda don't give a damn about them. Like, what? Here, timeline. Terra, why not? Sure. So, until they matter in the actual in-canon manga material, they don't really matter. And if Tori Toma is, in fact, Luffy's mom, then guess what? She doesn't really matter. Now, what obviously does matter is Bonnie. In this arc right now, Bonnie matters a lot. And in the future, now that she has access to Order 66, where she can command every pacifista in her father's likeness, oh yeah, she has a lot of command, a lot of power. And we do find out more details pertaining to Bonnie in this SBS. So first things first, we found out more of the names of her crew members. We found out some of these names in the flashback, obviously. But we have now Yo-Yo, Tots, Heart, and Potato. The other members of Bonnie Pirates who stuck with her until they were captured by Akainu. We saw them around her when she first appeared as a character back in Shibondi Archipelago. This then continues on with comments about her age, ability, and then also how she got to where she was at the beginning of the arc. This current arc, Egghead Island, when she was in that huge warm eddy. And this one from Pew Piece, shouts to Pew Piece. Bonnie's devil fruit is the age fruit, which makes her an age manipulation human, right? Does that mean if she keeps on maintaining her age young, they won't be able to die? Order then response, kind of cheeky. So that's how I think about it. But in chapter 1072, Bonnie said this: when it comes to living things, the effectivity won't last forever. So at some point, the effects will come undone. On living things, it's not permanent. And in order to kind of give them those vibes of, really? Deadass? Really? But I'm pretty sure right here, right? Yeah. So obviously, Oda doing his thing. Not done yet though, and I continue. In chapter 1096, one of the two boys who threw rocks at Kuma were a cowboy hat and has freckles, has the same look as the members of Bonnie's pirate crew. Are they perhaps the same person? Oda then says this: each one of them appeared in the Sorbet Kingdom. Also, each of them is depicted to have a crush on Guinea, meaning Bonnie's pirate crew is originally made up of Kuma's friends, who were also strong fishermen who watched over Bonnie's growth. They will protect Bonnie wholeheartedly like she's their own daughter. Currently, Bonnie was once again captured by Akainu and escaped afterwards without joining with Gyogyo and the others. She went alone to find her father. So here's the timeline now. Went to see her father at Mary Joyce, escaped on the ship of the Tajine Kingdom, afterwards infiltrated a government ship, got close to Egghead Island and got shipwrecked getting close to there. Got rescued by Luffy and the others. I'm gonna kill Vegapunk. And so that shipwreck was probably caused by the sea beast, the shark one, because she noted to the shark one being underneath the Sun Ego when she got saved by Luffy in the air. She pointed down, like, look down, it's below you. So that is how Bonnie got from where she was at the end of the pre-time skip to where she was at the beginning of Egghead Island. There are two more important things with SBS that are also very heavy. One of them involves the Supreme Grade Blade, aka the Saijo Owaze Mono. We find out that Fujitora, current Admiral Fujitora, is a wielder of a Supreme Grade Blade. So just like we found out in SBS, I think it was, or maybe a data book, we found out that his power was the Zushi Nomi, like the Stomp fruit. We double tap it now. Not in the actual manga revealed, but in SBS or in data book, it's not revealed that he does wield a Saijo Owazemono, a supreme grade blade called Yakuza Kasen. Oda's comments on that quote: right, sorry I've taken so long to reveal this, but it is one of the Saijo Owazemono, the 12 greatest grade blades. Its name is the Yakuza Kaisen, Yakuza on the front lines, a Shiko Mizu E, I think I say that, I'm not too sure exactly, type of hidden cane blade. With a sharpened cutting edge, it is a Meito graded blade crafted by Fugetsu Kasaburo of the Wano country. Now, this is a pretty reveal here, obviously, because there are a lot of weapons that we don't know in the story, what their grades are, like Kaido's club, Katakuri spear, Katakuri spear, Mogura, Mo.
Yari no nawa, Mogura.
Shanks' Griffin. There's a whole rundown of this in the Road to Laugh Tale chapter 1053.2. We have Law, Kaido, we have Shiki the Golden Lion, we have Mole, we have Griffin. These are pretty tough and pretty sharp weapons, but at this point in time, they're not graded. A lot of them, I think, do have the potential to retroactively be given the rank of supreme grade weapon. Other cats like Whitebeard, Roger, Mihawk have the supreme graded blades on the opposite side of the aisle, and Fujitora now joins their ranks. There's a very strong and clear case here where Venus Jiro, Ethan, he has the Saijo Azumono Kitetsu blade. So there's probably 5 that are actual wielders of these supreme grade blades, but right now confirmed 4. And what does that mean? Using the data sword grades on the Road to Laugh Tale, Whitebeard's Murokuro Giri is known to having this extraordinary durability. And that is probably the key factor here of these blades, where these supreme grade blades are extraordinarily durable and are very unlikely to break even from the strongest of attacks. Even someone like Whitebeard and Roger could channel their immense extreme hockey through these supreme grade blades, and their blades suffered no sort of issues, dents, scratches, nothing, because the blades are that durable. Think about, let's say, for example, when Zoro first got Metal Shusui. When he first got Shusui, what did he say? The blade was heavier than normal. It was so damn durable, even a dinosaur could step on Shusui and the blade wouldn't bend. So Mihawk's sword, Yoru, is of that ilk, obviously, because it's also a black blade, where it's super, super durable, but also saw the supreme grade blades too, in of themselves. So let's say on a grading system, let's say that the supreme grade blades, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, in terms of durability, they are probably a 9 or a 9.5. They're just that durable. And then when they get hockey on them, then they become a 10. Because like what Mihawk said in that small little Zoro flashback after he beats Pika, he said that any sword can become a black blade if you apply hockey to that blade. So let's say now the durability of the supreme grade blade goes from a 9 to a 10 when you apply hockey on it. And then let's say Yoru, because Yoru is a supreme grade blade that's also a black blade, it could probably be a flat out 10 out of 10. Assuming that it was a supreme grade blade before it became a black blade. It could have been, let's say, the same as Enma, where Enma, according to the grandfather of Momo, Sukiyaki, aka at that point in time, Tenguyami Tetsu, he said that Oden had yet to turn Enma into a black blade. So Enma is currently a great grade blade on the same grade quality as Shusui. However, Enma can rank up as the same category as Mihawk's Yoru, as Roger's Ace, as Whitebeard's Murokuro Giri, and now confirmed Fujitora's Yakuza Kasen. If Enma becomes a black blade, it will be of that same ilk. And there's also, I think, a strong likelihood here that the supreme grade blades have very strong personalities in the same vein as Enma. It's not confirmed, of course. In fact, Kozaburo really made a strong mention that among all of his blades, it was Enma that was like the craziest, the wildest, the strongest personality by far. And he made Wado too. Probably these blades have strong personalities like Enma, but we have to wait and see in the future. We have to wait and see. Because nowhere did they ever mention Whitebeard or Roger, mainly Whitebeard because we saw more of him than Roger. And then now Fujitora, nowhere was ever mentioned about like the strong personality of their blades in any way. Mihawk does that in some sense, but there's, again, as far as you know, confirmed 3 others, probably 4 others with Ethan, Venus Juro. But again, that's not mentioned at this point in time by those guys. And then finally, the last piece of heavy information we get. And the last piece was pertaining to something that I thought guaranteed would have been saved for later, because it would have, let's say, involved potentially the Straw Hats and the BB crew and the last road poneglyph, the person that Sheet of the Rain talked about, the in-man, potentially an in-man that would have access to the last road poneglyph, and it would be the warlord that Ace defeated a long time ago. Well, Oda just tells us who this dude is. What? Oh. Here we go. Oda introduced Honda Fuda, the former Shichibukai that Ace defeated and Kuma replaced. And I quote, right, this guy. His name is Hanafuda. He has a hobby for collecting Zoan-type devil fruits, particularly ancient models. So the same as all the Flying Six, Tobiropo, and lead performers of the Beast Pirates. And it is said that he was planning something, but we don't know what became of him. His height, his height is 5.14 meters. So he's just taller than Katakuri, man. Who builds these dudes, bro? Like, what the hell is happening, bro? He's around like 16 feet or like 16 and a half feet, like 16.5 or something of the sort. And he was also known as the King of Lizards. So I wonder if, let's say, Ace beat him because there was potential connection, or Ace felt that there was a connection between this guy and the Beast Pirates. And if there was, maybe, let's say, it involved Drake, because Drake joined the Beast Pirate crew relatively recently. So maybe Drake replaced him. He replaced Hanafuda, and Hanafuda was a former commander, a former Tobiropo of the Beast Pirates, But let's say he left to become a warlord. He left to become a warlord because Kaido wasn't doing whatever the hell, and then Ace beat him at that point in time because there's ties to Kaido before he became a warlord. So obviously, theory crafting, big time theory crafting there. But it's interesting because Ace beat a guy that has ties to Zoan powers, ancient Zoan powers, and the Beast Pirates are chock full of them. And because of Odin's passing and because of Yamato and so on, Ace does have a vendetta against the Beast Pirates. But there's a good chance now that this is not the dude. This is not the dude on the Black Pearl, the black ship, the all black ship that potentially is guarding the last rope poneglyph if this person has ties to the WG, world government. But it's still good to know, at least though when I say good, I mean like, okay, we at least know now. But it feels a little bit, like it feels a little bit like, damn. Because part of the enjoyment of really getting into One Piece is the idea of the unknown. And I suppose as we continue on the journey to complete the story, we're gonna find out a lot more. Fair enough. But at the same time, something like this could have been kept unknown up until it needs to be known. But I guess it never needs to be known, hence why I'm getting it now. But it also kind of sucks because like, damn, so you just told us because what? Ace had to one-up Luffy because he beat a warlord before Luffy did or something. So, you know, it doesn't necessarily feel the greatest now that a certain point of interest, not necessarily great, but nonetheless interest, is now just snuffed out. It's done. Scopper Gabon is always going to be thrown as an option for damn sure. I did a video on that one. Check that out over here as we head out because the SBS, the heavy, the medium, and the light, we're all done. We are all done with the SBS. It was a big one. It was a robust SBS, a lot to cover, but I would say important things through and through and through and through and through. So let me know your stance on this SBS of One Piece. If you enjoy this content, like it, subscribe to the channel, and click on that bell to join the notification squad and turn that on your YouTube phone app for notifications. And I'm gonna catch you guys and gals on the flip side.